All right. Welcome. We are back. I think I set everything up. A few minutes behind schedule, but it's whatever. Here with week 2 of Standard. Playing some Domain Zur, or Stupid Zur, as my friends were calling it when they sent me this deck list. Got a couple of buddies that are also, playing Standard for RCQ season and whatever else is going on. I think Atlanta is in January. That's also Standard. I don't know. It's like the new GPs or whatever. But they sent me this list because I again, about as much knowledge of Standard as last week. 5 more matches, I guess. In terms of, I don't really know how these decks are properly constructed. Once I start finding some stuff that clicks, I'm going to start digging into them a little bit more. But these lists look as reasonable as any others. Very clear to me that your mono red matchup isn't very good when we're main decking Elspeth, Smite, and sideboarding 4 copies of Authority of the Consuls. No D&D gameplay. I mean, there's no legacy events to play for, like, who God knows how many months, and I have a Standard Pro Tour to test for. And also there's a BNR literally next week, so it's like the actual worst week to play Legacy. If they have some like serious Legacy shakeups on Monday, then I'll probably stream some Legacy. Coming back to it a little bit, but this deck seems sick. I'm trying to go for decks that I vibe with. I'm sure I've told this story on stream before, but my only other experience on the Pro Tour was playing an arena PT for, like, I think it was Streets of New Capenna. It was like Standard plus Historic, and I said to myself, like, I was just like playing because they gave the all access arena accounts to everyone to start like testing or whatever for Historic, because I don't have an arena account obviously, and I was playing like blue white auras, and it was like, this deck's like pretty cool, whatever. And then I was talking with, I was working with Sanctum, I think, back then, before they really made it big, and a lot of them convinced me to try the good decks instead. And that Blue White Auras was a cute deck, but not exactly like the meta, the historic meta at the time, especially, was pretty set in stone. It was like Food, Phoenix, and Blue White Control or something, and just like everything else was like pretty demonstrably below those decks. And instead, I put aside my petty grievances with playing decks that I didn't like, and I was like, all right, it's my first Pro Tour. I'm gonna try to play like the good decks. I'm gonna play the decks that like are clearly the top of the meta. I'm gonna like just try really buckle down and test these decks. And it was the worst Magic playing experience of my life. I had no fun. It was miserable. I lost my win today too, so like I did very okay for my first Pro Tour, but it was just like very unpleasant from a gameplay experience. And I was like, I'm never gonna do this again. I'm gonna stick to decks that I like. If even if it comes at the cost of my win rate a little bit, I'm just gonna play the stuff that I enjoy. So that's why we're not playing like fucking blue black, whatever tempo, on this, or like the green black deck, because those decks just look absolutely miserable for me to play. So we're gonna stick to the decks that I have good vibes with, and this deck looks like it's pretty good XJ vibes, honestly. So let's just get into it. Oh, I was playing a Dual Commander too, because there's the Dual Commander, yeah, Corey Baumeister's Dual Commander Trials. And I 4-1'd the one I played yesterday, so I'm qualified for the qualifier event on Friday, which is very cool, with an updated Felia list. Not this one, because this is on the Daybreak account. Fun is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is what I can't tell how much memeing this is, because it's like very clearly not the channel for that kind of mentality. If the only thing that matters was winning, I wouldn't have played Death and Taxes for the entirety of the Reanimator era. Just been casting Entomb for the past 11 months. But there's actually one, like, maybe my most successful year ever in terms of Legacy, despite, like, the kind of horrendous metas that I found myself in. I'm on the draw. I feel like I'm supposed to keep these hands. These hands is like a bunch of castable removal. This is taps for white, and if I have a Plains or Island, I can tap for blue later. We have, like, several draw steps towards the land for Overlord. Seems fine. I mean, I'm not here to try to speculate on what the fuck's gonna happen with the ban list announcement. A lot of things could happen. Maybe nothing happens. Who knows? Not really my problem. Oh, we can smite this. Also another Get Lost deck. That is true. Rather unfortunate for me, because I fucking hate this card. So don't lead with this. This does not tap for white. This one taps for white. And because this isn't like a prowess thing or a heroic thing, I can just smite it. I don't have to be worried about monstrous rage, right? Because you couldn't smite like a Swift Spear, because then they just kill you with monstrous rage. Although I guess this is also like Jeskai tokens, right? Not the monstrous rage deck necessarily. How Domain is hanging around in Standard even after Nuke Havana and its junk left. Yeah, the mana base is kind of patched together with, you know, chewing gum and, like, duct tape. Genuinely didn't realize people play Standard on MTGO. It's great. I love playing Standard on MTGO because it makes me not have to play Arena. Well, this seems bad for me. I'm not an expert, but I'm not happy with this. We're just like prayed that turn 4 Sunfall is good enough. So we can get lost into Overlord into find a land at some point for this Sunfall. I don't think I'm supposed to just get lost a 1/1. Okay, no Immodanes, whatever. That's a card, right? That's a card that would have been bad for me. I guess I just take this. Okay. What does this mean? Do they just gas out? Am I supposed to just get lost a 1/1 here? I guess I should. If they want to like crack a bunch of map tokens next turn, I'm totally fine with that. Well, that's not a land, which isn't great. We also don't have blue mana right now, right? Oh, sure, flash things. I guess now we have blue mana, we get Overlord, but we just need to draw land and not die right here. Immodanes wouldn't be lethal, right? It'd just be like a shizillion damage. Alright, well, does this mean we have to just Overlord plus Leyline Binding? Feels like we're just gonna die. What does this mean? Crack 0 map tokens, hold up all my mana? How many flash things does this thing do they have? They have like double Resolute Reinforcements, these last 2 cards in hand. We could also Zur plus Binding to set up like a trying to get a big lifelinker next turn. They might just have removal though. That might be cards in hand. I think I'd like to just try to set up Guaranteed Sunfall the following turn. I'll let dog in because she's screaming, bashing herself at the door. Am I supposed to Leyline Binding one of these things? What do you want, punk? Leave me alone. I feel like I'm not. Because if I draw another land, we can just hold up Leyline Binding, which is much... I think my opponent just is holding up a flash something to try to kill me after I Sunfall them. Well, that's not exactly what we wanted, but... Not gonna cast Sunfall here. They just don't have anything? They're just floating out? How much does, like, casting both have of Immodanes in one turn cost? Okay. Is it 7 mana? 6? 8? 5 plus 3? Wow. Yeah, I guess the card would be really fucked up at 6 mana. What was that, like... What does it make? Does it make 2/2s? 1/1s? It'd be 8 damage burst? 2 2/2s. That's the 5 mana part. Yike. 9 damage? Alright, that makes sense that it costs 8 mana. We do have to kill them, but I think we can turn around now. Oh. My... What are you gonna take? My Overlord? My Incubate token? Sure. I guess that makes sense. It punishes them the least by me killing their Percussionist. So we can... Zur punch them? We gain 5, but then we can't kill any of their stuff? This guy just comes online as a 6/5, which is kind of nice, and blocks them. I kind of just want to Binding this Warden, and then say go. This thing's not going to attack me, though, because I'll have a 6/5, so I can just play Zur out. They have no card. They have literal no cards in hand. So how do I want to do this? Because I could just kill all their stuff, huh? Get Lost plus Binding. Binding this. Get Lost this. They have 4 map tokens. So if they draw a creature, it gets a little ugly. We're at 3, so we do have to be worried about Immodanes just kills me, right? No, it doesn't just kill me. We get our guy. We get our 6/5. But I do have to be worried about my opponent having 4 map tokens. But we're going to untap and gain 1,000,000 life with Zur. That's the plan. Is untap Zur, gain 6 life. So I think I just want to kill things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana exactly. Exile this. Get Lost this. And next turn we can Zur animate Leyline Binding. Smack for 12 and gain 6 life. Yeah, there's the thing. That lane's really good because it means we can hold up Elspeth's Smite as well. This just gives them... Oh, we're just going to gain like 1,000 life too. We're fine. Black, white, blue, animate this. If they draw like another, is there like a world that I die? There is a world that I die here if they like draw like, let's leave one of these things back. Doesn't matter. If they draw the make 3 guys, it's 3, 6, 9 plus 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. We're gaining 12. We're going to 15. Okay, no, they're just dead. Never mind. Yeah, we're just attacking. We have Elspeth Smite and Zur as a blocker. Don't have to worry about any of that. Just kill them. Alright. Tokens, huh? Don't actually know what's good against tokens here. Like, Elspeth Smite doesn't seem terribly exciting, because they just make a lot of 1/1s, mostly. Authority of the Consuls gains you like piddling amounts of life is okay against Immodanes, but like it's not good because they don't have like a shit ton of haste creatures. Negate, I assume they're bringing in some amount of permission. Yeah, Authority seems like okay, but like what am I cutting? I guess Get Lost seems pretty terrible, right? For similar reasons. Like, Get Lost just seems mostly worse than Elspeth's Smite. I guess Get Lost can tag the one-drop guy. Warden of the Inner Sky? Is that card? I don't know. But, like, paying 2 mana to cast this and giving them artifacts to blow up with Gleeful Demolition. And giving them map tokens. None of that seems super thrilling for 2 mana. I can definitely see... Does this card do anything? Destroys enchantments, destroys flying creatures. Not really. This card is like 5 mana to make one thing. This is like a dumb grindy card. Can you not? Maybe we cut the Get Losts for authorities. Maybe we want negates. What does negate do? Negate can stop like Gleeful Demolition and Sheltered by Ghosts. Counters their permission on my stuff. They do have like a decent chunk of non-creature spells. Maybe we'll just go for something like this. Just get rid of all the Get Losts. This is a 4 mana Leyline Binding. So I don't think this hand is very keepable. I don't think this hand is very keepable either, but I think we have to keep it on 6. We're like close to trying to cast Overlord and finding the ability to cast our white spells. Man, what did I say about this mana base? I think we bottom Overlord of the Mistmoors. I don't know. If we get to white, producing 2/2/1 blockers ain't bad. We need... If we find like a single planes, this Leyline Bend becomes Oblivion Ring at least. It's castable like on a single white mana to try to bridge us towards these cards. I think it's between Overlord and Sunfall. I think I'll just bottom Overlord. Siren. So what is this cavern supposed to go on? It just goes on like Avatar or oh, white source. Avatar or human, basically. Fix for Zur or fix for Overlords. The problem is, I'm not really allowed to cast Beans on 2. I just have to play the tap land. So I can, like, cast Binding on 3. Oh, dear. We need to draw white source. We need to surveil into white source so we can just split up. That's not a white source. We can at least like Overlord on 3 too, assuming we're not like dead at that point if we can't cast split up. Maybe we have to Binding if my opponent casts the Convoke guy or something. Just gonna hold up. Alright. Hey Cora, thanks for the resub. Appreciate it. I swear I bottomed one of these in mulligans and then surveilled one and then drew the third one. Have fun at bar trivia. I don't know if this is the best format, but it's certainly a format. Alright, how are we winning this game? We're at 15. My opponent might be holding up the flash thing, might just be holding up like a negate. Unfortunately, we can't really beat a negate on my Wrath anyway. I think we just have to Overlord. Cavern on Avatar. Blue, whatever. It's good. We could also potentially cast like uncounterable Overlord of the Mistmoors instead. If we're afraid of counter spells. Also, we just didn't hit second white mana, so discard the second binding. These things are just Oblivion Rings. I mean, if we draw green Overlord, binding gets really good. Do we have time to ever cast this Beanstalk? Maybe we just kill Beanstalk. If we rip green Overlord, we can like start firing off bindings. If not, we can like buy time with Overlord of the Mistmoors. I think we'll ditch beans. Let's see if my opponent makes 2/1/1s on end step and then untaps and kills me or something. Yeah, that. Blizzard Rings with Flash, true. Are we like literally dead to Immodanes? 3, it's 10, 12? No, okay. Convoke thing, that's beatable. I guess you could still just find Immodanes and like kill me next turn. But... Novice Inspector, Spyglass Siren, sure. Alright. Cast your spells. Okay. So they have, like, a negate, right? Like, this is definitely just, they have a negate. Or some sort of negate-shaped counterspell. No double white. Yeah, this mana base is impeccable, really. I think the plan is cast Overlord of the Mistmoors and then lose. I think we put this Cavern on human, because then we draw Zur and animate and hope try to win that way. I don't even think we actually have the mana to do that, even with Cavern on human. This gives me black, but I wouldn't have double white to activate the Zur. But it is my only black source for Zur, so I think it does go on human still. I'm trying to think of like a scenario where I don't want this on human. If I want this one on Avatar too. No, because I'm going to be out of Overlords. It'll tap for... No, I don't think it matters. Can we draw a negate and untapped white source at the same time? That would be pretty nice. If we draw like swamp, we could at least we can't even double binding if we draw swamp because we don't have double white. We just like can't double spell at all. We need to draw like green Overlord. That wouldn't even let us double binding, but it would fix our mana at least and give us 1 mana bindings. Seeing in real time how much this deck. Yes, this deck is the mana base is fucking stuck together with used chewing gum. Like, it is a mockery of a good mana base. I don't know what we're sitting here tanking on. I feel like my opponent should consider turning their creatures sideways and killing me. But I guess I don't have room to talk because I sit here and tank a bunch. Are they thinking about like map token, Inspiring Vantage? Sure. Full send team, huh? Do I double block? I guess I double block the Knight Errant, right? Saves me the most damage. Or I chump block it and block something else. What's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? It's exact lethal, huh? They're doubled over laughing at how bad my mana is. That's the delay. They also have Novice Inspector in hand, which they could probably cast holding up Negate still. So what is it? 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We're going to 7. They'll have 8 power worth of stuff. We will just die almost, I think, regardless of what we do. I think we're just stone dead. Kill this 4/4. I guess that was no. I should block 1/1s, right? Because I want to leyline. Assuming that I just have to assume that they don't have negate. If they don't have negate, we just try to cast a. We'll just draw white swords, try to cast Wrath and win, right? Ah, perfect. All right. We got there's game 3 to play. Yeah, Get Lost did not look exciting. Notably, also Smite does miss the 4/4, so like maybe that's not the best. Maybe you just want like Authority. You'd rather just like gain 7 life over the course of a game than like try to Elspeth Smite a 1/1. It also could gum up Convoke lines sometimes or Immodanes. Maybe it's fine. It's not like super enticing, I don't think, but it might just be like good enough and your spot removal just sucks. I didn't actually read this card, but I assume it's just unplayable here, right? Yeah, it just makes a guy. This is just for the classic for the grindy matchups card. Let's run it like this. This deck's really good if you just palm Overlord of the Hauntwoods into your opener every game. Dog has decided to make her home. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a cardboard box right there. The dog has decided to make her home in. Which is great, because she's not annoying me. She's just making kind of annoying sounds in the background. All right. Perfect. Perfectly functioning mana. Is this to keep? Just like no castable spells. I think it's a keep. Like several looks at blue source for like Overlord. It's such an awesome mana base. It's really impeccable. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan a little bit aggressively. How are you enjoying Standard? It's fine. People have told me often over the past like maybe about a year or so that that Standard is great, Standard's awesome, but like I don't know if a Standard can ever be awesome to me. It's just like not the type of Magic that that really clicks with me very often. But like the Standard is definitely like fine. It's passable. It's not like it's not bad. It's not unenjoyable. It's just like okay Magic. All right, my opponent's mulligan to 5, but my hand is completely non-functional. So who knows who's gonna win? Blue source? This is not a blue source, huh? That doesn't cast my spells. Maybe with my opponent on 5, we have a chance. Hey, that's a castable spell. Look at that. I think people just say it's awesome because all the other formats are so bad. I mean, yeah, right now. What limited formats being played at the PT? The Aether Drift. So, rip me testing for that one, huh? I think I'm supposed to just play this out on Avatar to try to spike Overlords on turn 3. It could potentially be the black source I would need for Zur down the road, but I think it's much more likely that it's going to be the blue source I need for this Overlord in my hand. 4 mana Leyline Binding, perfect. Would love to just draw Flood Farm Verge. Oh my god, I'm so good at this game! Look at that! Wait, this taps, right? Okay, yes, this actually does work. Glad I didn't ask for the wrong card. I think Basic Forest kind of sucks in this deck, right? We have double green for the green Overlord. Otherwise, you don't really want Forest because it doesn't cast Zur very well. We clearly want a bunch of white sources. This is nice for our Leyline Bindings. I think we just want all our spells. Next turn, we can Shadowy Backstreet, reduce Leyline Binding to 3 mana, and then potentially cast Leyline Binding, or potentially cast Split Up, or Hold Up Negate. So yeah, I think that's fine. But yeah, the standard vibes are, like, fine. There are a lot of... Okay, my opponent's just given up. Cool. We did it. I assume they just missed on their second land for a few turns. And then didn't want to play anymore. But yeah, like, the standard format right now, at least, feels like it has a lot of, like, fairly viable decks. I like that mono red is the boogeyman of the format, because the mono red deck doesn't feel oppressively broken. It feels very good, but very beatable if you decide that your deck wants to beat it. This deck has not decided that. Some decks get to decide, alright, I'm going to try to beat the decks that are trying to beat mono red, you know? And the mono red deck isn't doing anything, like, fundamentally busted. It's, like, a pretty, like, stock, standard looking mono red deck. We're playing the good deck? I have no idea if this is the good deck. It's the good deck if you get to cast your spells. Hey, this is a functional mana base hand. Look at that. This is a good hand. We get to cast Overlord of the Hauntwoods on turn 3, I think. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And then draw an untapped land and then Zur on turn 4. Or we can even just, like, Overlord into the Zur. Yeah. Sounds great. What do I want? I guess I don't know if I want this, but I think in principle I never want Get Lost because this card fucking sucks. and currently I'm not going to be able to cast this. My next turn is going to be tap land, and I'm going to hope that I can cast Elspeth's Smite, and then the following turn I'm going to be Overlord of the Hauntwoods, so I just think I don't want this, and I want to find more land. Another land to cast Zur on time. Feels rough to use Get Lost as removal. I hate this card truly so much. It is unfathomably bad. We're playing as blue-black. Alright, that gives me a little bit more info. 5th land is nice. Second white source is also nice. Specific. I guess it doesn't matter a ton because we're going to Overlord, but yeah. They just keep a one-lander? Cool. Board out Flood Pits versus aggro decks, apparently. Is that the plan? I don't think I wanted to board out Flood Pits versus the Jeskai deck, but maybe I'm wrong. Like, felt like none of my sideboard cards were very good versus the Jeskai deck, so... Makes sense versus, like, mono red and stuff. Wait. Did they just, like, F6 through their turn? Because, like, they can't have drawn the land and the 1-drop. Mill Phantom Interference. What the fuck does this do? This is just a mana leak. Can make a guy. Just ignore Toast. That's what I usually do. I assume this is just Zur time. We just get to hardcast Overlord territory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, 7. Hardcast Overlord next turn. Uncounterable Overlord. Yeah, this seems pretty unbeatable, huh? Make sure I can do this with my mana. Blue, white, black. Yeah, I can just do whatever I want. Okay, they can give it up. Cool. That's how that works. Blue, black, huh? Alright, what do any of my cards do here? So Elspeth Smite's a bit more interesting because it's good against the stupid cat. It's good at potentially trying to keep Kaito off the field. You just cast it before blockers. Negates are maybe okay. I assume that they showed us the mana leak thing, but I mean, negating that's pretty dumb because you just pay 2 mana. But I imagine, especially post-board, that they'll have more counter spells. I need to read this card for the 3rd time. This card seems to have close to no relevant modes in this matchup. I don't think they have. I feel like this is a card for like the demons match, like the green-black matchup, right? You did blow up the big demons, or you blow up the Howling Mine thing, the Phyrexian Arena room. Or, you know, other decks that have a bunch of enchantments that you want to shoot down to, the mirror or what have you. And this is not like a super grindy matchup where we want the big stuff. This card seems pretty unplayable. Let's get all this stuff over. These are the cards I'd probably think about. I just want to cut. I just want to cut Get Lost every fucking game because I just hate casting it. Negates have been awkward in testing. Yeah, I get that. It seems hard to use negate to protect your spells because all your spells are expensive as fuck. Get Lost does kill Kaito, yeah, so it may be, it's definitely a little better here when they're paying more than 1 mana for a spell, or for a card, or, like, making a bunch of tokens and stuff. But I'm down for these. It might just be like, this is not a Sunfall matchup. Sunfall's kind of, I mean, Sunfall versus Split Up. They're both kind of awkward versus the Flash deck in terms of, like, Wraths aren't that exciting versus either of them. Yeah. I could buy. I'm just sideboard with a light hand. Sunfall good, split up mana. Yeah, you exile the cat. I can't really think of a lot of other use cases, but there may be something I'm not thinking about. 2-lander? Seems okay. We got Smite. Well, this deck isn't really a Smite your turn 1 play deck, is it? I guess it's going to be Smite your turn 2 play. Yes, they're going to be on their turn 3 attacking with a 2-drop. I think this hand's a keep. Definitely not as good as the other hand, but just Lush Portico for lands. We have hopefully like Smite a 2-drop into like Beans. I guess you do Smite a 1-drop sometimes. They have this thing. We just need to hit land drops. Well, even if I wanted removal spells, which I don't really hear, we absolutely want to hit like 3 straight land drops. Okay. Well, this is a land drop, which probably means I have to keep it. And unfortunately, I mean, it lets me potentially turn 3 Leyline Binding. I'm likely just going to cast up the Beanstalk next turn, but I do think I probably just have to keep this. Cast the Zur, potentially. Maybe we up the Beanstalk into, like, into a tap land or something. We'll see if I need to cast Binding on turn 3 instead of up the Beanstalk, depending on how this turn goes. No flash thing. I was expecting the Fairy, or... This is just the 3-3. It's just a 3-3 forever, right? Yeah. They mill that, sure. Get Smote, idiot. There's no, like, days, whatever, there's some, like, Pioneer counterspell, and it's, like, there's no censors in this format, right? It's all, like, pay 2, or pay, you know, or negates. I'm not gonna get punished by not playing my Cavern. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna cast my spell. Try to draw a tap land. I think this Cavern has to go on human, which is not something I'm thrilled about, but it might just, like, straight up, they might just quench this or whatever. Yes. I will elect not to pay the 2 mana. I guess this just goes on human. We might end up casting a 3 mana Binding and then play out or whatever. It's gonna... Wizard is better. Is it? Isn't it the same? I don't think I have any other wizards in my deck, do I? Oh, that's not that bad. I mean, 3 mana Leyline Binding that. Wizard sounds cooler? Okay, so there's no actual reason. This thing just surveils, because I didn't even take damage. Wow. Really living it up. This is 3, right? Yeah, we have 3 types. Cost 3 less. Just kill this stupid Kaito. I'll just draw land 4. It'll be fine. That's not land 4. You can flash in it. Shut the fuck up, Toast. Flash it. That's not even good, even if it didn't get hexproof. Just untap and cast negate. Just absolutely no fucking reason to do that. I think this is just a hold up Leyline Binding situation. I guess we surveil first, huh? If we found, like, second Zur. I think I think this is just keep 5th land and then don't cast Zur, but, like, I don't really want to animate my bindings. They're not value. My opponent has 3 cards left in hand still. This is 5th land, though, which lets me cast the Sunfalls as well. So it is top. But I think we just sit here and try to Leyline Binding something else. I wonder if they just animate their thing. They don't even do that. Okay, I guess. What the fuck do I do here? And then just have... They have 3 cards, so they need an answer for Zur and then an answer to the Leyline Binding. Could, like, play the Binding here on nothing, just to, like, make a 6/6 that doesn't give them a Kaito if they kill my Zur and then kill the 6/6. Is that insane? I feel like it's not. We're drawing 5th land here. We just play Zur. Ship. Thanks for the hydrate, Eric. Not a bad play. All right. I guess it is in essence just a flash 6/6 here. Oh, right. That costs 2 mana. Whatever. Forgot about my swamp. Human, black, white, blue. Can't be countered. Maybe this is like Tishana's, but that'd be fine. Maybe not fine, but that would be survivable. Yeah. Suppose we could have played around to this and maybe waited, not tried to attack them this turn. It's hard because we can't really smite this very easily. And we obviously can't Sunfall. Kills my Zur. Beanstalk's not bad. Is there a reason for me to attack? No, because it just trades damage really poorly. I'd rather try to get them to block. Green plus... I'm not casting a second Zur here ever, so... Tap like this. Oh, well. Yeah, I guess I'm not casting another Zur here ever, so... Might cast the second Zur next turn. Maybe they'll commit and I can Sunfall instead. Yeah, animate your soul thing. Yeah. They're not really allowed to attack here. Oh, they just attack here. Wait, I can just smite this and then, like, blow them the fuck out? Maybe they have a counterspell? Which is fine. Are they gonna kill my Zur in response, maybe? Alright, sure. That's fine. Now we can just Sunfall. Well... I guess I'm only getting... like, Kaito me? That'd be fine. We have second Zur. It was kind of an odd attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't really want to Sunfall exactly this. Zur's like okay, but I kind of just want to impending this. It's much better to Zur later. It draws me a card. Makes 2 things to block. I guess it's worse into a counter spell. They have 2 cards in hand. But like, I really don't want to just play Zur here. They draw a card into a counter spell. Maybe it's fine. Oh, they just don't have counterspell. Fun. I guess this one goes on Avatar. That's what this thing is, right? Avatar Horror. Yeah, Disdainful Stroke, or like even just like a Quench effect wouldn't have been great. Wait, why didn't they draw a card off that? They could like cast in response to the Beanstalk trigger? Or whatever. I guess we just double block this on, because they're just gonna fucking die. We just play Zur, animate the Overlord, kill them. Unless they have another Tidebinder. And then we just are fine. Sunfall. Alright. White, black, blue. Kill you. Second Tidebinder we just animate again in response to, right? Is there any reason, like, there's no way I just get, like, blown out by 1 card in hand. We're not just gonna... I'm trying to think of, like, ways I lose this game, and I can't really envision one. Like, I don't think there's a reason not to just go all in here. Maybe we'll find out. Oh man. I mean, I guess I would never play around that, right? That just always gets my Overlord. I mean, we still have a 6/6. Never seen this card before in my life. I'm of the same mind. I've never seen this one. Target opponent exiles a creature or planeswalker they control with the greatest mana value amongst creatures and planeswalkers they control. Yeah, I think you're just gonna die to my army of 6/6s. Hey, Marceline MTG, thanks for the follow. Appreciated. You have one card in hand. I can attack for a lot. Animate my Beanstalk. Yeah, they give up. We did it. Look at that. This deck is very good if you can cast your spells, but there's also just like no way to realistically fix the mana. It's like it's about as good. Like I've seen like slight variations, but like mana's not getting much better than where it is. This deck is pretty good vibes though. I dig it. It felt like the mono white deck has just like a 90% mono red matchup, but just anyone casting any spells other than that just like felt like kind of a slog. Even if the matchup wasn't that bad, it wasn't like that. There's just like a lot of cards that you just really didn't have good answers for. A lot of things like Flash or Flying that you just like none of your cards were particularly good against. The cat in particular, that's the stupid Curiosity Cat. Card was a beating. Is this hand keepable? This hand doesn't do anything. This hand is effectively 5 lands, which in theory would be good. We can't even wait. Hang on. This hand's very bad. We can't even cycle. I was thinking we could cycle the Herd Migration to have all our colors, but we cannot actually cycle the Herd Migration. All right, I've correctly deduced this hand is a mulligan. All right, this hand cannot cast any of its spells either. And by any of its spells, I mean it can't cast this Overlord, which is the important one. But it's like fine. Yeah, this is definitely a keepable 6. I don't know what we're bottoming though. Hovering over the Get Lost, but like this is a hand that kind of wants the Get Lost a little bit, right? Because it's a turn 2 play to like tread water a little bit into our hopefully turn 3 Overlord, but Overlord plus Leyline Binding goes really well together. This is a toughie. Could bottom Overlord of the Hauntwoods because it's uncastable. But we have a bunch of draw steps to get there, and Overlord of the Hauntwoods is like the best card in the deck, so you're probably not allowed to bottom it. I don't think we just bottom the Binding. Well, do I want it that? No, I don't want it. I want to find green source. Oh, mono red. Or, some variation. Am I supposed to just get lost this? It feels so fucking horrendous to get lost this. Lost my store championship to mono red after my opponent got his one-off Authority of the Consuls that he sideboarded in on turn 1. Yeah, Authority of the Consuls seems very good against mono red. This thing is going to deal me 2. This thing's like fucking Goblin Guide. This thing's gonna deal me 2 damage every turn. I think I just have to kill this and just lose to the follow-up. You like waiting? Interesting. I think it's reasonable. I just like to imagine that you're shouting at me, which is understandable because I'm probably not doing super well. Yeah, we just split up the Emperor Heart Challenger. We're fine. Kill this one creature. probably good, because we probably just don't want to let them target this with map tokens. Cast. Tapped creatures. What could they possibly have? Another Valiant creature to go with these map tokens? Impossible. What the fuck? It's fine. Draw an untapped land. Hmm. I mean, I'm not casting it. It's just, I don't think it's gonna get me very far. It could potentially like chump block like some hasty 2/2 that shows up. They also kept Monstrous Rage on top, so like probably not. But you know, so you should have skillfully drawn untapped land, and then is probably true. I'll work on that for next time. Maybe I should block. I don't even think I want to draw untapped land anymore. I want to draw like Leyline Binding, I think. Binding this and then animate the following turn. Wait, what happened? Am I dying? What? Hang on. Hey, slow your roll, opponent. I'm not that fast. I gotta read some of these cards. Okay, this is fling. Okay, so they flinged the thing at me, and then it's like a double fling because of how Heartfire Hero works. Alright, that makes sense. Cool. Alright, gotcha. Bring in good cards. Bring out bad cards. None of these other cards are like secretly good versus mono red, right? Can I read this card for the 4th time? Flying, enchantment, food token. Alright, not that important. Beans are the other cuts in this matchup. Yeah, just the cards you don't really have time for. This is just like a stay alive scenario. Get to your Zur combo, gain a bunch of life. Wait, this is 59 cards. 1 beans, you're back in. Yeah, seems better than Overlord of the Flood Pits, I think. 2 lands. It's a turn 2 Authority of the Console. It's also Herd Migration for 3rd land. It's awkward, but like it's definitely keepable. It's awkward because we can't weave this Authority in very well. If we want to cast a 3-drop on 3, we might just like scry into green source or something. Who knows? Definitely a keep. This hand just has a lot of good cards in it. It's just a matter of how I want to sequence them. Probably just like that is how I want to sequence them. Is just turn 2, play Authority of the Consoles, and the second Lush Portico, and then turn 3, play Overlord of the Hauntwoods. That's a pretty reasonable way to sequence. Authority of the Consoles plus Split Up Wombo combo. Makes their creature come in tab, so you always get everything. Wait, they're green? Can they cast the other half of that fling thing? Or is it literally you just play, like, it's just fling? I'm almost at Molto Authority versus aggro. That tracks, especially versus red. This matchup seems really horrendous. Unless it's like if it's like a Elspeth Smite into, like, Overlord into, like, turn, like, Forza or Animate or something, then maybe. But yeah, I imagine you're really hard to get for Authority. Anyway. Do I want Cavern of Souls? Next turn is Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Cavern of Souls puts me at the 5 mana point, which is still very far away from Herd Migration. Herd Migration is a 5th land if I want it. We just hardcast an Overlord at that point. I don't think I actually want this. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I do actually need this to cast a 5-drop. What do I want here? I want to find Zur. Or more removal, I guess. This is a land if I need it, but I'd like to just cast a 6/5. They play Paw Patch, by the way. That makes sense. Because they can't beat Authority of the Consoles very well. Like, if they're going turn 1 nothing, turn 2, like... Yeah, this is all fine. I can get a Valiant trigger here or whatever. It's kind of annoying, because we don't really have anything good to tag this with. If they just, like, spend their turn... Well, if they just cast, like, any other creature off an Emberheart Challenger, then it's nice. Yeah, like, if they just cast this Heartfire Hero here, we can just kill 2 things with a split up and be pretty happy. This thing gains me life, right? Hell yeah. We'll cycle. Split up plus cycle Herd Migration. It'd be kind of nice to just make 5/3/3s, but... Also nice to gain life in the matchup where you're gonna be fucking dying. Alright, this is all well and good. I think I'm fine with split up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost don't want to cycle this Herd Migration, but I guess I can just put that decision off for later. We take 1 here, right? Destroy all tapped creatures. White, that. That card seems pretty terrifying. I think I cycled this Herd Migration. That card seems less terrifying. Doesn't really matter what land I get, huh? I guess it's... White sources are always nice. We have triple white already. We never need double black. Black is exclusively for Zur. We could have another blue. We can't actually have another blue source. We don't need another blue source. I think it is still just white source. We only ever need 1 black source. We have a bunch of green. We only ever need 1 blue in post-mort configurations at least. So I think it is just plains. All right, let's draw something good. That's pretty good. I'll take... Oh. It's better to cast it now, because they lose the +2/+0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I also can't hard cast my Overlord of the Hauntwoods if I also get lost this turn, which is kind of horrible. They only have 3 cards in hand. How bad could it get? We're at 20. I think I make a 6/5. Because if I get lost this thing's still punching me. If I make a 6/5, this thing doesn't get to punch me. They get to, like, pop off with a slick shot show-off turn. I'll make mistakes and learn from them, huh? I will choose to disrespect Slick Shot Show Off and take 20. I guess we saw that they have the fucking fling thing, so maybe this is really stupid. Not that hard for them to fling a Slick Shot Show Off for lethal here, huh? Not the easiest. But they have held up, like, the green mana pretty conspicuously, like, every turn of this game, so I'm not super excited to cast a Get Lost into the hexproof thing. Nice. This seems very good for me. Let's draw a second removal spell. That's not second removal spell. I mean, I guess I start attacking, huh? I get this other Overlord off suspend here. When am I supposed to pull the trigger on this Get Lost? It feels like only if I'm going to die. But then, does the fling thing sacks on cast, right? So I can't, like, counter the fling? Does it? This doesn't do shit. It does not sack on cast? Oh, perfect. Alright. That's good for me. Excellent. Double striking tapped mice. Feels very clear to me that they have the stupid hexproof thing. How many creatures am I allowed to attack with, though? Definitely not 2, unless we draw, you know, Zur. Be nice to draw a spell. Damn it. I almost, as I was saying that, I was like, maybe not all the spells. Because suddenly if we attack, we can take a lot of damage. Extra life gain. I don't know if they'll be playing that many more creatures, but, I mean, you're not wrong. Am I just not allowed to attack? Which, it sucks, because I would like to threaten lethal with 2 6/5s. But potentially letting a double striker through seems kind of nightmarish. My opponent clearly doesn't have anything yet. They could obviously draw into something, but I think my draw steps are gonna be better than theirs when I'm at 20 life. So I'd rather not just get cheesed by some fucking manifold mouse bullshit. I will double block your manifold mouse. I don't know, they gave 1 trample and 1 double strike. Sure. Oh, they're just not doing anything, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Zur time. Zur top deck. Top deck Zur. I don't want Zur. I feel like Zur's gonna get burst lightning. Ooh. Second removal spell is nice. Hey, Green PM33, thanks for the resub. Too many non-white cards gonna cancel. We got 3 white cards. Look at this. 4. It's a split up in the graveyard. I think I can attack with 1 Overlord now. Because now we have double removal spell. If they go all in for like a lethal, if they like double strike both mice, attack both, and then go like all in on the mouse, we can just get lost it and binding it. They might have like multiple hexproof things, but like that on top of things that murder me. I do need to kill them is the thing. So I'd like to set up a way that like my 6/5s threaten lethal. Especially if they like attack like poorly, then I could just like remove 1 blocker, or if they like go attack all, I could just kill them next turn. I don't know, it feels so risky. I have 2 removal spells now. Can I afford to just sit and wait more? I kind of hate this. What am I trying to draw towards? Another Overlord isn't even that good. The white Overlord is what I want. Zur is good if they don't have like burst lightning. How many other cards in my deck? We're probably plenty of time. What other cards in my deck am I drawing to? Sweepers aren't even that exciting right now because I have all this shit in play. More removal spells are nice. Hard cast the other herd migration. More, it's tough here. I think I'm gonna go with my gut, which is my draw steps will continue to be better than theirs. They just keep like dinking me for 1 with this slick shot show off, then I'm pretty fine. I kind of almost want to binding the show off. I didn't play this cavern last turn, whoops. I don't think it matters, but Alright, now I should be able to attack with one. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I don't know how, but we're gonna fucking die. This is good because if we induce some sort of combat scenario, we could potentially kill with all our kill them on the backswing if they like try to go for lethal. We have triple removal spell to stop them. Oh, this thing starts getting counters. That's what they played it out. Sure. Should I have killed their Heartfire hero? No. Is it just like Zur full send? I do have a bunch of removal spells that I could also, like... Can they kill my Zur? I don't think it matters that much, because we also just have a bunch of removal spells back up. I'm wondering... I guess animating an authority to attack doesn't make any sense. So I might as well animate them to block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, I can just animate the authorities if I really want to. This might be like Burst Lightning on Zur, but they still have to block as well. And then we still have 3 removal spells back. And we get Authority to Console blocker. Or this is just we go to 31 life. And then we're fine. 31 life and 3 removal spells in hand. I can make this thing a trample double striker. I take like take a decent amount here. I get Elspeth's smite it, and they protect it, and then I binding it, and they protect it, and I get lost it, and then they protect it again, and then I still don't think I'm dead. We're at 31, so it seems hard to die here. Animating doesn't gain mini life, it absorbs exactly 1 point of damage, so it seems kind of pointless. I suppose I could block with the Zur to soak up even more damage. Just see what happens. They're at 2. We can just, like, kill these things. Don't want to block with Zur. I'm trying to envision a world that I lose this game, and I'm struggling to. So I think I just let this happen. It's hard for me to math out ways that I die with versus 5 cards in hand at 31 life with 3 removal spells. Like, there's probably some combination of like triple protection spell that beats me here, but I don't even know if it can deal 31. 31's a lot of life, even on a double striker. How goes it? It's going pretty well. But like maybe the 4 extra or potentially 5 extra damage would matter in like the triple protection case. I don't actually know. Like the opponent has to initiate here. They're going to lose. Oh, nice. They have to start with a hexproof thing? That's super good for me. which means they can't triple protection spell now, so it'll just always die. Do I actually want to start with the Get Lost, because it's unlikely to resolve, and I don't really want to destroy this? Oh wow, who could have guessed that this would happen? Yeah, we did it. Didn't even need the third removal spell. Now we gotta win on the draw, which seems much harder. Run it back. I'm wondering if, like, the first copy of Overlord's better than the first copy of Beans, just in those, like, scenarios where we're top decking there. Where you kind of have a weird, stable-ish board state. But you just want, like, a big thing to top deck. But I don't know, we're on the draw. If you can weave in and up the Beanstalk at some point in the mid-game, you can kind of mitigate that end-game scenario. So there's some upside and downside there. I think we're fine in that decision. Doesn't matter a ton. We have lands. We have nothing else. And seems pretty bad. My opponent kept 7. I have to imagine I want to mulligan for... I think this is gonna win more games than a 5's gonna win. I'm not an expert, but... I think this hand has better odds than the average 5. This is very easily not going to play a game of Magic, but a lot of your 5s are also not. I think we keep this bottom. So the problem is that we don't actually have any white or green sources unless we top deck one. So like casting this Get Lost seems hard. Just wondering. I think it's just bottom to Overlord. I think I'm gonna keep this bottom Overlord and get a little lucky, you know? Go away, kitty. One drop creature. The fuck? That doesn't seem very castable. This seems pretty bad for me. Alright, alright. We have Herd Migration for white source. For probably not even Authority of the Consuls at that point. Probably has to be like Get Lost on Emberheart Challenger. Problem is I'm not threatening anything here. I'm not bluffing anything with Island Forest. You guys can pretend like I have a negate or some shit. Just gonna fire off. Read these fucking cards. Which is +3 +0, sure. It's nice if they're gonna fling this. That's pretty fucked up. Because they get a 2/2 out of the deal. Which makes sense because they targeted this, that they probably are going to fling it. Yep. And we're not dead, but we're basically dead. We're taking 10, going to 2 life versus a 2/2 and 2 2/2s. So I think we're literally dead. Take my draw step. But I think we're deterministically dead. Gave it the old college try. Alright, cool. That makes sense. Took a game off Mono Red, which seems nice. I've heard that matchup is horrendous. And it felt pretty terrible, yeah. Even if we had drawn an untapped white source is like, we only have, these are untapped green sources, right? So it's like 5 draws to turn 1 Authority of the Consuls there on the draw. Because turn 2 Authority of the Consuls wouldn't have even been relevant that game. This hand's passable. We've heard Migration to fix at least a little bit. Doesn't actually help me cast Overlord or Zur. But it casts like Split Up. Doesn't really cast Binding. Maybe this hand's not a keep. Green black. Play your stupid adventure guy? Yeah, that's the one. I wonder if I just... Let's draw tap land? Fuck. I'm wondering if I just want to smite this turn. Rather than cycle Herd Migration. I mean, I'm not casting any of these things, though, is the issue. So Herd Migration is not even that good to do this turn. Maybe we just smite it and then Herd Migration for Island the next turn. Waiting on Herd Migration also lets us potentially top deck a different like color, either black or blue. Let us decide a little bit better. Cycle Herd. What are we trying to do though? Like next turn, we can't cast Overlord even if we cycle Herd. We can't cast Zur even if we cycle Herd. We can't Leyline Binding. We cast Split Up, but Split Up doesn't seem very good. You don't think smiting this matters? I don't know. I just want to stay alive. Reduce amount of damage in play. I don't think there are a lot of other good smite targets in this matchup. If there was one land we'd wanted, I'd want to cycle the mana. Yeah, exactly. If I could cast a spell next turn, I would cycle. Glissa is a good smite target. Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's a reasonable argument. Lead with that one. Mosswood doesn't matter. Glissa does. I don't know the cards in this fucking format. It doesn't matter. Rewarded for my suboptimal play. We just get Island here because the Overlord is important. Also, the Overlord does help cast the Zur eventually. Nice for us that this thing is vigilant, so if they play a thing this turn, we can split up both of them. I don't know if I'm rewarded here. I'm definitely rewarded. This turn ended up in a much better position via the sequencing of my spells than if had I cycled Herd Migration. I feel like that's just the definition of rewarded. If they had cast Glissa, would have absolutely been punished for my lack of foresight into the cards that my opponent is playing. Come on, cast a spell. Cast a creature. No, yeah, we're not rewarded by drawing Sunfall. I mean, this is not the most exciting card to split up, but it's not looking much better. Classic keep 3 lands on the draw. Miss 4th land drop. Where'd their adventure thing go? Doesn't their adventure thing usually sit in like a little bubble? Why does it not? Weird. It's not. Oh, it's not an adventure. Yeah, it's the opposite of an adventure. You can cast it. Wait. No, it's this one. Yes, there we go. Figured it out. They adventure it from the graveyard. Yes. it is slightly different. Oh no. Caleb D with the massive raid. Appreciated. Hello, hello. All of Caleb's viewers, welcome. We are playing a standard league here. Why on earth would they do that? Why on earth would they make a 6-6? Seems pretty good. We can't cast any of our spells here, in fact. So it seems pretty bad for us. I think we're gonna die. Have a great night yourself, Caleb. Yeah, we're playing some standard here. I'm mostly a legacy streamer, for those that don't know. But we're playing some standard here to prep for Pro Tour or MC Chicago, which I'll be participating in. So we've been dipping our toes into standard, playing the Zur domain deck right now. Not going super hot this game. I forgot you can't cast any spells, and when you do, you win. Yes, this is all true. What's our plan here? Draw, untapped land. I don't really know what the plan is after that. Lose? Look, definitely feels like lose. Hey, untapped land. 4 mana Leyline Binding Archfiend to the dross? Anybody? What is this cavern? Oh god. Is this cavern supposed to go on human or avatar? This mana base, huh? Ugh. It has flash too. Yeah, I guess I could wait. I don't think I get punished by a lot. I think they're just going to go to combat and then I'm going to cast the Leyline Binding though, so I don't think it's going to matter a ton. I think it is, like, I put the cavern on Zur, not Overlord, because we want to, like, Zur animate a Leyline Binding and gain life this game, considering we're going to 8. Zur isn't a creature type. Thank you, Toast. I had no idea. That's how that works. Avatar for flip bits would help us draw the other lands. I don't know if we're going to be able to get there. Are we deterministically dead? We're not, right? This is 10. Yeah. You're not a legal game action, Toast. Taking 14 not recommended. Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty advisable when we're at 14. I would be inclined to agree. We're probably just going to Leyline Binding this Archfiend. Seven cards in hand, how are we losing? Yeah, maybe this Archfiend will get to 0 counters, who knows? Suppose we could Binding the Demon token instead. A little bit less bad for me if we end up animating it with Zur down the road. We just have to kill both of these, though. Gonna go to 8. Probably just gonna have to cast another 4 mana Binding on another. Okay, they are just animating the cottage, which probably means that we are going to die next turn. Makes sense, because even with removal spell here, they put me to 4, which means we can't, like, wrath them. We don't answer to cottage. If we have Zur, we still don't win, right? Because... oh, Zur could chump block, actually. Maybe that means I had to target the... no. Then I take damage off the Archfiend. I think we're probably just dead. Alright, game 2. Game 2 time. Try to hit our land drops a little bit better in this next game. How do we sideboard here? This definitely feels like we finally found the Paw Patch formation matchup. This thing does not... this is not, like, the Vivian... not Vivian. Is it the Vivian that, like, also has a plummet as part of the minus? It's like naturalized / plummet. These Elspeth Smites seem not for this matchup. Yeah, it's the Vivian that's the plummet. But Naturalize seems like pretty decent and like make a giant thing. It doesn't seem super thrilling versus the deck that makes like 6/6 flyers and stuff, but we have a decent number of answers to that stuff. Yeah, Vivian 5 in standard. That's the one I'm thinking of. I think these cards are good. I truly don't understand why this Doppelgang is a one of in so many sideboards. It's very perplexing to me. I don't really know what it's for. Besides, like, you know, for the grindy matchups. But is this a grindy enough matchup? Who knows? I think the next cards that are getting cut are some number of these, like, wonky removal spells. It's probably not Get Lost. It's probably just Split Up. I think Split Up is mostly just an aggro card, not really a mid-range card. I suppose, like, Nissa is a really scary card that we want to be able to answer on curve. It's an argument for it over, like, Sunfall. But it's hard for Split Up to trade with more than one creature. Imagine making 13 Ritual Chambers, you unlock one at a time. Well, it's probably... You probably made a bunch of land tokens with the other 12 targets, so you can probably unlock most of those Ritual Chambers. We'll try Sunfall. This hand does not cast its spells, huh? This hand casts its spells. Bottom... wait, does it cast its spells? These things... We don't have double white, but... And if I bottom this island, we don't have double blue. But we need double green for the green overlord. Hands not casting spells seems to be yeah, this deck's mana base is very shoddy. It's very good when you're online. Like, I think this hand is very good still. Just a matter of, like... I guess no, we can't bottom Flood Farm Verge because we need access to white mana. If we bottom Island, we lose access to all our blue mana. So I think it's just... If we bottom Hushward Verge, then we lose access to double green for Overlord. But we have a couple turns to get there. We have a lot of different spells to cast, so I think it's probably bottom Hushwood Verge. As unexciting as it is. Bottoming Island seems kind of horrible for me. Toast getting clowned in the comments. Love to see it. I'm not sure what the correct choice is there. Maybe this choice... No, this choice is okay, because this choice we can cast the blue Overlord. I'm pretty reasonable at casting the green Overlord, like, within a few draw steps with, like, Beans, casting a Get Lost. Someone remind me to do the... I forget if I already said this last round, but someone remind me to do the giveaway. We'll give away some play points at the end of this round here to someone in chat. Courtesy of Daybreak Games, giving me some cool play point codes. I think we're just always casting Bean on turn 2. Can't imagine anything happens that changes my mind on this. I guess that my opponent could cast Duress. But... Are you enjoying Get Lost even more in this deck? I think this is a better Get Lost deck than the mono white deck is because it can actually close a game. Classic 5-mana Leyline Binding. Oh, yeah, we got stuff online now. Reverse Onzid giveaway where Toast can't win. Toast has one. Wait, did I actually pay out when you won, or did I cheat the system? I can't remember if I've actually given you a code. I think I may have once. What does my opponent have? What's going on over there? feel like I don't want a second Sunfall. Admit to fraud on stream. I'll admit I would cheat you out of giveaway Toast if I could. But maybe I was feeling more generous that day and I didn't cheat you out of the giveaway. What did they keep? What is happening? I feel like you can't keep turn 1 nothing, turn 2 nothing versus this deck. You're just gonna like turn 3 Howling Mine, whatever, for Phyrexian Arena? Oh, the card's like pretty good. I think I just get lost it. I would love to cast my Binding to cycle next, like, and try to cycle it next turn, but I think for the sake of mana efficiency, we'll just get it lost. Turn 1 nothing makes sense. I can't imagine they have a ton of 1-drops, but turn 1 nothing plus turn 2 nothing means like something's going on in that hand. Some sideboard cards that I'm not thinking about that are like really good, maybe. Yeah, I imagine that your plays are like turn 1 nothing or turn 1 duress your opponent with that deck, for the most part, and in this matchup specifically. Famous, yeah, Land War Elves, sure, that one I guess does exist, huh? I have seen lists without it, yeah. Some of them run elves. I feel like I'm gonna cast this Leyline Binding on almost anything. Really hoping they just like cast a 3-drop and crack a map token on it or something. We can just get a map out of the deal with my Flash Oblivion Ring. But I will accept cast a 4-drop. Although if they just like cast a demon, all right, yeah, well, yeah, cycle your map token. Come on, you know you want to. Yeah. Yeah, we're cooking. Hello? Oh, right, duh. Just get a hard cast Overlord now. Draw a card, draw 2 cards. Popping off. Five lands lets me cast Overlord next turn. We just ditch one of these things then. Do you plan on going to MC Chicago? Yes, I'm qualified for the Pro Tour, so I will be there, in fact. We only have 2 green sources here, so we discard the plains in case we want to, like, Overlord plus... I don't know. I think we just have enough white. I feel pretty ahead this game. Yeah, I will be happy to sign whatever cards if you manage to track me down. Sign a copy of Felia specifically. I will, if I don't make day 2, I'll probably be playing Felia in the Dual Commander side event on Saturday. Clicking cards at random. Yeah, I think we're venturing rapidly towards garbage time. Maybe they have go for the throat here for my Overlord. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I just let them have this and just cast Overlord so I can herd migration them? If I don't make... What part of if I don't make day 2 isn't optimistic? Sometimes that happens. Not when I don't make day 2. Hey, Kate2, thanks for the 7-month resub. Much appreciated. Alright, that's fine. I don't really want to just pop hatch this, because then I can't do anything else this turn. I feel like I just let them have their stupid Howling Mine thing. I could impend... Maybe we're just impending this Overlord? We don't have to hardcast, I guess, huh? I have to play this Forest if that's the case. Yeah, impend plus pot patch. We figured it out. We have 5 mana. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If we cast Pop Patch, we can't do anything else. But yeah, this is why we kept the forest. We have triple green here. So we can impend, draw a card, make an everything token, everywhere token. I already forgot. Play this out. If you destroy this, that doesn't use the stack, right? They just like activate it and then it opens the room and makes the trigger. I can't like blow them out. That wouldn't make sense design wise. I guess I don't have to cast this right now though. Wait, no. I just decided that I do. Fuck. Unlocking as a special action. I am very familiar with special actions. I'm an expert at this point. Playing Leonin Arbor for so long, so that doesn't make sense. You can still sort of blow them up since you can destroy them before they go. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I like briefly paused. I was like, oh, I can just let them untap because then they just have it, but I don't want them to just make a 6/6 for free. Okay, this is totally fine. We're just gonna fucking herd migration a minute next week. If they play like 2 creatures, I'll probably Sunfall. We just have like beans into Sunfall. Otherwise, we just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seems pretty strong. Yeah, this seems fine. I don't know. I think it's pretty hard to lose this game. Just take our actions. Ah, yeah, we did it. Deck's very good when you get to casted spells, as it turns out. Thinking about sideboarding more. What did we cut? We ended up cutting split ups. I think we want the split ups in over the Sunfalls, because stuff like Glissa is really scary. Split up can also line up kind of nicely at first, that vigilance thing. You can sometimes spike 2 creatures. I think having a big late game sweeper doesn't matter as much as like treading water in the early turns, because our like end game engine is just so much more relevant than theirs. I have seen Dingo's 5-color list, and that one is, I can't imagine you're ever casting your spells. Splashing red for a double red card, in addition to like already splashing blue for a double blue card, and splashing black for your Esper card in your base green-white deck. It's really fucked up if you get it online, I imagine. Red Overlord plus is like really messed up because you get like Death Touch Lifelink 4 damage shots. Mold to 5 and he just died to 3/3 and 2/2 Spyglass Siren. Alright, this mana is tolerable. Potential turn 3 Overlord, which makes these bindings really good. We have turn 2 Cycle Herd Migration to potentially cast a turn 3 Leyline Binding for 3 if we need to. This definitely functions. This mana base seems miserable. It's definitely... It's carried by the Power Spike and by... Overlord of the Hauntwoods is like the only reason this deck is at all playable. Yes. Covers a lot of sins is a good way to put it. Manabase is stuck together with chewing gum and duct tape and Overlord of the Hauntwoods. There's the Duress. Alright, this hand's pretty functional, even if they take like the Herd Migration. Yeah, that tracks. That's nice for them not to know about, especially. What am I looking for here? I don't know. Kind of wanted a land. I don't think I want this land. A land that doesn't actually cast any of my spells. Maybe we just bottom... Like, we do have 3 more lands in this hand. We're probably cycling Herd Migration on 2. So fucked up how duress, negate, and creature removal is not good versus this deck. It is very funny that it's like a deck with like no creatures that also is not, you can't really duress or negate it very well. I'm just gonna graveyard this. I don't think we need another green-white land. The 2s aren't that threatening, so we have the ability to like split up a turn 3 thing. That's kind of scary. Oh, that's a really good draw. That makes binding cost 3 mana, but not next turn. But we could potentially like split up into Backstreet Binding or something if they play like a big scary demon. Oh man, my beans. I needed that. I guess I didn't need it. This is probably just an Overlord turn. Now that this is happening. Cavern. No. This mana base is not very equipped to cast Zur or Blue Overlord. We traded this lizard for a handful of beans. What do I want to do here? I guess because we drew the planes, we don't necessarily need to lock in this Cavern decision, huh? I was really tunneling in on the fact that I was going to Cavern Overlord this turn, but now we just don't need to. We can, we'd even split up plus binding here if they, like, play a big thing and attack, and I can kill, like, 2 Llanowar Elves and Frillback with the split up and, like, binding a big thing. And then play Shadowy Backstreet. Man, suddenly our mana base is just humming as soon as we cast Overlord. All of our casting spells problems have gone away. Alright, we'll just sequence it with the Leyline first, like a good, smart Magic player. Oh no, it's only a creature's opponent controls, so I thought it was any creature. We could get lost this instead of binding it, but I think I want to play this Shadowy Backstreet. Shadowy Backstreet plus Leyline for 1 mana, plus split up the 2 tapped things, then they have 2 cards in hand, then we seem pretty home free. I suppose I can take a peek first. See what we're drawing to. Oh, that seems pretty good. Take it. Hovered over, split up for a second. It didn't matter which one, right? The sequencing doesn't actually matter because this thing only triggers on creatures I control. If I hovered over untapped creatures, then I might have got it. It's also only 4 damage, not necessarily like the end of the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awkwardly, I actually can't get lost this. And play Anime Zur. We could just get lost it. I think this thing needs to go on Avatar now because we don't have double blue, but we have blue, black, white. So this thing goes on Avatar. I think we just pass now. This Gliss is really obnoxious. Maybe not really obnoxious, but like kind of annoying, I guess I should say. I guess I shouldn't have actually auto-yielded, because there's like a chance I wanted to cycle Herd Migration to have 7 mana for something here, but I don't really think I do. I think I'm just going to animate this Overlord of the Hauntwoods and punch them. So I can hit 7 mana so I can cast Herd Migration. It's kind of awkward that this thing is about to come off Suspend, but not that awkward. 7 mana would attack for 12. Yeah. It's probably fine. Blue, black, white. Wouldn't hate Animate Binding for that reason. I kind of just want the 7th land. Animate Binding is like a little bit worse if they have like 2 removal spells to get their Archfiend back. This just hits a 7th land drop. So we can just Herd Migration them next turn for 5 3/3s and just kill them. They just make a guy this turn. Oh, sure. Yeah, this is totally fine. No, we're just gonna kill them with Herd Migration. Yep, this is all fine. 1, 2, yeah, whatever. Jam, 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 jam. Five beasts. Yeah, I wasn't really preoccupied with like trying to reduce their life total more than I was just trying to get value out of all of my spells, because I feel like we were just pretty favored in this game. So I didn't think we needed to like cycle Herd Migration to like have a big attack that turn that wasn't lethal, and then if they just untap and have 2 removal spells and get the Archfiend back and I can't attack, and now I'm down my Herd Migration, you know, stuff like that. Anyway, 3-1. Only lost a mono red or green, like with the light green splash, but let's run a little giveaway here. For those of you that are hanging out, let's do Zur as our giveaway keyword. Type Zur in the chat. Get 120 play points, courtesy of the fine folks over at Daybreak Games. Giving out 5 of these play point codes to all the content creators. Get your Zurs in chat, and I will send a code to one lucky viewer. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick while we run this this little giveaway. This is the format for the PT. There's another set release. There's another set release like a week before the PT. We get Aether Drift. Anyway, be right back. Aether Drift is also legal for the Portland RC. I have no idea when the RCs are, but would not shock me. Rigged. I haven't even finished the the giveaway yet. Didn't you win last week? I feel like you won recently. I recognize your name. All right, the winner is Agentur. Oh, jeez, or Orange. Agent Orange. Figured it out. Agent Orange. Got there. Yeah, I did. I rigged it. That makes sense, I suppose. Agent Orange. Let's get you your play points. Where are you at? Why do I not see you? Oh, there you are. That is you. Let me DM you your code real quick. Enjoy your 120 play points. And we will get on to the final match of the stream today. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. (3-1) with this deck so far. This deck has better vibes than the mono white deck. I'll say that much. The Manabase vibes are understandably completely horrendous, but like when you get to play Magic, the deck just feels really good. Is MTG Bot bugged? Did you think that you programmed MTG Bot to let you win the giveaway? Is that what you mean? It's bugged in that it messed up giving haha_toast the 120 play points. Oh, horrendously misspelled your name, I see. Yeah, maybe some weird glitch in the code. Really unlucky that someone in the chat had the exact name that was like the misspelled haha_toast. I agree, I don't like mono white. So yeah, the mono white deck is cool, but I don't know. It's a lot more polarizing matchups. I guess this deck has very polarized games, so hard to say. I think this hand is passable. We have a bunch of surveils and removal spells to get us towards the mid game. Attica Wastes means probably tokens. Whatever, Convoke, whatever you want to call it. This is an untapped land, but it doesn't do a ton for us. It doesn't cast Zur. It does cast Overlord on 4. We're likely to go Beans or Get Lost on 2. Probably, we might even go Tap Land on 2 so we get split up on 3. This doesn't enable us to do any of that. I think we mill this. Maybe it's like greedy, because we really want to cast Overlord on curve. Okay, this is just the 2/1/1s. I'm starting to get better at identifying what's going on. I think we're just going to cast Split Up on turn 3. And now we probably surveil any land to the top, he says. This does qualify. It does at least help us cast Zur a little bit. Doesn't really help us cast this Leyline Binding at all, but I do think I'm not allowed to bottom a 4th land of any kind now. Mill, whatever. This is Resolute Reinforcements, sure. Hopefully they... I actually don't know what I'm hoping for. Immodanes, maybe, would be the best for me. It would be a lot of damage, but then we get to kill everything. Oh, wait, this is taps and 3s, so they're probably going to leave the Warden untapped. Oh, no, they're going to attack. Oh, my God, they're just going to get murdered by this split up. Holy crap. It's over. What'd they do with these? Bottom. Alright, Cavern on human first. There's no reason to put it on avatar first. We can always cap it on avatar afterwards. Destroy all tapped creatures. Instant concede. Alright, we take that. Deal. Alright. So we hemmed and hawed about how we were supposed to sideboard versus this matchup specifically, talking about how, like, Authority of the Consuls isn't great here, but it's, like, probably better than Elspeth's Smite. And that Negate was kind of clunky. Like, none of our cards are very good. Feels like our opponent could have trivially played. I think if you were thinking about split up, yeah, you just don't, you miss a 1 damage and you keep your big guy untapped that turn, right? Robin took out Bezos. Took out Bezos from the list? We don't have any. This is also Dylan's list, so. Do we just, like... Oh, no, we cut all the get losses what we did, too, because the get losses are really horrible in this matchup. And Dylan took out Bezos. Yeah, I don't know where Dylan got his list, but... Is this how we ended up? This looks like fine. Maybe we want Negate instead of Elspeth's Smite. I'm not really sure. Ismet. This matchup feels like pretty tolerable. We've only played against it twice, but like your sweeper, you have, it gives you a lot more breathing room to actually get your stuff online or like cast your sweepers. They don't just like blow you up for a bajillion damage. Hey, Barnus7, thanks for the follow. Aren't cutting beans. I don't know. Beans seems okay. Well, like what? I don't want a lot of my sideboard cards aren't very good here. Is the thing. Versus like mono red where your sideboard cards are really good. Like I don't really want these tiny spot removal spells very much. Anyway, I don't think this hand is very good. Alright. This hand seems better. Don't really know when we're gonna cast this authority. Do we bottom it? Is that insane? We're just gonna go turn 2 Beanstalk, turn 3 Overlord, turn 4 double binding, or, you know, be dead. But Authority would help us not die. Maybe we bottom a binding instead, but, like, our mana looks pretty spoken for in these early turns. We could potentially find another tap land and then tap land into tap land Authority. I'm gonna bottom the Authority. Maybe I'm insane. When are we casting Beans? On turn 2? Top any land. So, see, this is the problem with, maybe we should bottom the Leyline Binding. Because now we actually can't cast the Beans and play a 3-drop. Right? Yeah. Maybe we bottom the Beans or Binding instead of the Portico. Or instead of the Authority. But then we'd be casting it here. We've gained no life off of it. It's good against like the Immodane's part of the deck, or like maybe we like get a healing salve out of it or something. You played Beans in Chicago. I'd aggressively cut Beans versus decks, especially on the draw. Yeah, I just like don't think I want like what are we boarding? What do you want over the Beans? Like maybe the negates. Like I don't think Elspeth Smite's good versus this deck. We don't have good sideboard cards against Jeskai Convoke. Really. We'll just play our Hedge Maze and acknowledge our past mistakes. It seems like this could be important, but also we don't have the ability to reliably cast it. You would keep that card? Yeah. It's definitely possible. It's tough. Convoke? No. Big Convoke. If only I had some way that I could have gained like 3 life this turn and also stopped them from convoking out this Knight Errant of Eos. Unlucky that I never had that option. They grab Imidanes? This seems bad for me. We dead? We dead? We're like literally dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus 5. We go to 1. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. We go to 2? I didn't actually. I might have miscounted. How can we lose? We have beans. Yes, so that's why we're playing, right? I don't know about this format. We make mistakes. It's fine. We learned that we should probably have bottomed the beans and kept the consoles. Wait. Oh, they don't have third land. Holy shit. This is great. Well, maybe not great. We're still, like, kind of dead. Oh, man. If only we had kept the Sunfall, huh? Then we wouldn't have drawn this, right? We would have drawn the Authority of the Consuls this turn. We're at 10. If they find land, we die. Is there a plan here? We have 1 mana bindings. We have Authority of the Consuls. Is binding... I guess it's just Authority, Beanstalk, Binding is the plan here, right? Beanstalk to look... Oh, yeah, we could look for Split Up, too. That's also very true. That's not Split Up. Authority, Bean, Bind means you're not dead to land. I did not do the math, but I think you might be right. Is there a card we could possibly draw that would make me not interested in playing Hushwood Verge here? I don't think so. I suppose we're dead to the Imidanes now. Oops. Let's see if we draw something weird. We didn't draw something weird. Now we're dead to land drop. But they won't have it, it's fine. Look at them not having it. It's just that easy. We're still, like, very much not out of the woods. Oh, we're out of the woods! I think I target a token here still. Yeah, we just want to gain life. I mean, we're still not out of the woods, I don't think, but we're definitely more out of the woods here. Maybe they don't have a negate. Oh shit, they're just cracking the clue sorcery speed. Let's go. We're so in it. If you bindings Imidanes really fast, they don't get the trigger. I think this herd migration is getting cycled. Yes. Is it? We do. It's nice. Definitely nice to gain 3 life here. Wait. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 5 mana, so this doesn't do anything this turn. But I do think this herd migration is definitely getting cycled to hit more land drops, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can cycle herd migration into Split Up into Hedge Maze. And then have 7 mana next turn for Zur double animate. This seems very good. Don't forget to split up first appearance spell pierce. Yeah, I suppose we're I mean, doesn't exist, yes, but we are allowed to cast split up first before cycling herd migration. I just want to cycle herd migration before Hedge Maze to not lose surveil value. Destroy all tapped creatures. White. Whatever. They just give up. Nice. We did the thing. We played very badly, but got rewarded. The best kind of Magic. We didn't play very badly. We made an improper mulligan decision and learned from our mistakes, and we still won the game. No, we're dead to offer. We can't refuse. We're not. Oh no, yeah, we are dead to that because then we don't blow up any of their creatures, and they hit the third lane drop. We know, but yeah, we take those. A nice 4-1. This deck definitely feels like. I think it's pretty well constructed in terms of the card choices. Split ups seem really good. Like the split between cards like Split Up and Sunfall, and like Elspeth's Smite, trying to mitigate the mono red matchup while maintaining the structure of the deck for like the other matchups in the format. I think all the cards make sense. I'm not gonna pretend like I know the first thing about making this, like touching this mana base. I've seen mana bases that are like, you play 3 Flood Farm Verges and like 2 Meticulous Archives and like 3 Lush Porticos, and just like very minute tweaks that like I'm really bad at building these types of mana bases, so I will definitely copy people that I think are much smarter than me. As far as the sideboard goes, these cards all made a lot of sense. Rest in Peace, I imagine, makes sense. We didn't hit the matchups for it, but there are a decent chunk of graveyard decks. These cards all make sense. The negates feel kind of weird, but maybe they're fine. We didn't. The Nissos are just kind of a generic grindy card. I don't understand this Doppelgang. I guess it's just like generic grindy card of choice that like for the really long matchups. You're playing like the Mirror, or you're playing against like Mono White or something. Negate is the best card of the Mirror. Is it? You can't negate Overlord or Zur. You can negate Leyline Binding and Beans. But like so many of your good cards are creatures. Negate doesn't seem like the... Negate was the best card in the Mirror before the Overlords, so that makes more sense. But yeah, I don't know. I dig this deck. I think this deck is definitely higher on my list of potential options than the mono white list is currently. Maybe Disdainful Stroke is better. Yeah, I would definitely need to talk to people that like, you know, actually play this deck a lot, get a better sideboard idea fleshed out, know what I'm doing. But yeah, this deck is good vibes. Overlord Zur stuff is just really messed up. Our one loss was mono red, which, you know, makes sense. We're doing the best that we can to mitigate the mono red matchup, and I don't really think that is much more than salvageable. We took a game, and then we had like a Hail Mary Mold to 6 that I don't think we would have won even on a good Mold to 6. So, you know, them's the breaks. Anyway, let's go find someone to raid. When was Authority reprinted? In Foundations. Who's out there streaming tonight, huh? Okay, but actually, who is streaming? Let's go find someone. Oh, Harin's streaming. Is Harin just like streaming every day? I feel like I've never seen him online a lot before, but now he's on like I guess he's maybe just on every Tuesday night, just right after me. I'll go raid Harin. Always try to support people streaming Legacy, and Harin is a pretty regular Legacy streamer. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming and hanging out and watching. Shout out again to Caleb for the huge raid. If you like the content on the channel here, feel free to drop me a follow. You can follow me on Blue Sky, which I don't actually have a link for on Twitch anymore. Or not anymore, I haven't added one yet, and there's still Twitter that I don't really use a lot. You can also subscribe to the YouTube page. That's where all these streams go after they're done. Upload the VOD straight over there. Next week I don't know what I'm gonna be doing next week. It depends a lot on the ban announcement. If they do like some big Legacy shakeups, we'll maybe dip our toes back into Legacy a little bit, see how it feels. If they don't do anything exciting in Legacy, we'll just, you know, keep trucking away at Standard. Just have a lot of time between now and the Pro Tour to keep testing the format, but I'm always happy to, you know, dip back into Legacy. But anyway, let's send you all over for some legacy content. And thanks everybody for hanging out tonight.